has this development of narrative been helpful for the truth? I think Mark is looking at it from the perspective of a voice and allowing engagement by other areas that may be interested in a particular case. But where does it take the truth and justice? What's your experience?
Well, I don't know if we can equate truth and justice anyway. That's another question. But one of the, sometimes the narratives, well, the question, and I think this has been raised, the question on the chat now, it may influence the fairness of the trial, because there's a narrative that's so entrenched about who the villain is that it really has become extremely difficult for that person to benefit from the presumption of innocence in a trial. And we've seen this at the ICC, where civil society is also extremely disappointed when somebody gets acquitted. And they view that as a great setback and it's a setback for the narrative in a way, but it's not a setback for justice when someone's acquitted. It's a proof that justice is working. And I think that's one of the challenges that we have to confront about this. I think that sometimes the other thing, and I was alluding to this referring to this in my remarks, is that there is a narrative that prosecution doesn't really prove. And yet, I don't know whether it goes away. I mean, people talk about the Nuremberg trial, and I think most people think the Nuremberg trial is about the Holocaust. And there are some pages in that judgment that are about the Holocaust, but most of it is not. And that's not really the narrative. Robert Jackson's narrative was one of aggressive war. But today, most people would be surprised to learn that. Students of the subject obviously know better, but they would be surprised to learn that about the Nuremberg trial.